So can we celebrate just yet? Well, we can at least crack open a beer. What do you think? So the reason that we are celebrating, at least in a tertiary response to all of this, is Jennifer Salke has been put down. Not in that way. Okay, don't take that the wrong way. What I mean is that she has, as of now, officially stepped down. Now, whether or not she was fired is something completely different. However, she is going to do her own thing. She is going separate ways under an unnamed company that will still have small ties to Amazon. If you don't know who I'm talking about, we're going to get more into it with this article right now. But first, so Jennifer Salke is out at Amazon Studios. The fallout from Rings of Power raises questions as Amazon eliminated the studio head position entirely, which is what they were doing. Now, don't worry, there are still heads over their media departments, but it's just not the studio head. That no longer exists anymore. Wonder why that is, where a lot of people are speculating. So let's go into it a little bit more further. Jennifer Salke, the longtime head of Amazon MGM Studios, which, they've been in the news quite a bit. Rings of Power is absolutely bombed and tanked. It's going into season 2. What else has been in the news recently? Oh, the acquisition of James Bond, going so far as to buy out Barbara Broccoli. And maybe this is where Amazon, Jeff Bezos, you sly little dog, maybe this is where he's like, oh yeah, I can afford to do that because I ain't paying this girl anymore. It's not paying dividends for us. But she is, as far as the media is concerned, stepping down from a role in a major executive shakeup that raises more questions than it answers, because they're publicly framing it that way. They're framing it as voluntary. You know who else framed it as voluntary and on a way less scale? Alyssa Mercante from Kotaku. Yeah, they frame that as being a voluntary thing. No, you were poisoned to the company, and so you had to get kicked out. Well, this is one of those things like, we will let you resign with dignity as long as you don't run your mouth. Now, this is very new news as opposed to old news, but whether or not she runs her mouth, I would love to see what repercussions may come from that if she were to be so stupid as to go that route. But anyway, for all intents and purposes, it was a voluntary step down. Highly doubt it, though. But they did let her give her own announcement and a statement in an internal memo. And what she said was that she wanted a new challenge, and the next chapter will be on the production side of things. So even though she doesn't have a company name yet, even though she doesn't know what she's doing, even though she doesn't have any clients, yeah, that's where she's going now. Now she's going to produce stuff. Basically, and this is hilarious to me, what this basically means to me is that now she has to put her own skin in the game. She's no longer playing with house money. Now she's got to put her own skin in the game. But I don't know, and it could be way more than that. However, Amazon made it clear it will not be replacing Salke, because instead they're flattening that entire position down completely. They will still have head of film, they'll still have head of television, but they won't have head of Amazon Prime Studios. Hopkins, what's his first name? It's up here, Mike Hopkins. He wrote it, and this is the internal memo. We decided to flatten our leadership structure a bit and not fill the head of studios roles in line with Amazon's recent work, streamline reporting lines, and accelerate decision making. We felt this was the best direction. I hope that clutch, well, that's not even a clutch because it has a string on it. I hope that purse was worth it. I hope it has good resale value, because I'm sorry, girl. Well, I'm actually not sorry. We're actually celebrating this. You get what you fucking deserve. The statement comes at a time when Amazon Studios is still dealing with the ripple effects. Yes, the billion-dollar investment, the Rings of Power, the absolute bastardization of just small snippets of J.R.R. Tolkien's parts of the Silmarillion and also parts of the appendices. But don't worry, what little was there, they took that, expounded it in a basically a soap opera whammon power TV show that absolutely sucks. Do the effects look good? Well, they're passable. Although the Undying Lands it still looks like an angelic vagina. And don't worry, I mean, this is the spin that everyone puts on anything. Salke, well, her own ass is on the line the entire time. She maintained the show with success. We know that it's not. Now, in the first couple of weeks, in the first couple of months, you can fudge the numbers, but eventually those numbers actually do have to come out because they are cross referenced through other sites. Going back to December of 2023, an interview claimed over 55 million people at this point have engaged since season 2 launched. And if you look at the long-term trajectory, which is how this company looks at an asset, well, not anymore. They're looking at other assets. Also, if you know how big Amazon Prime is, 55 million people at this point, and also what parameters does that exactly entail? Have engaged with it? Are you looking at hashtags? Are you looking at people talking about it? Are you thinking about anything like that whatsoever? Or is it just people have clicked on the homepage for that site or for that TV show? Is that what you consider? Because the watch hours do not look good. 8 billion watch hours for season 1 as a whole in its entirety. A good 25 to 35% of those people never even finish the series. They never finish watching it all. These are all the numbers that have come out. And it's like, yeah, people had a little bit of interest. A lot of people wanted to roast it. A lot of people wanted to see if you were going to be true to the source material. Guess what? You weren't. So a lot of people gave up. And when she also added, let me just put that in there. She's also added that there's well over 150 million viewers watching and engaging with the show. Watching and engaging. See, these metrics do not necessarily mean the same thing. And what constitutes as a watch? You really need to think about these kind of things whenever Hollywood and the trades and all that kind of like throw these numbers at you. Hey, it is a success. I know you don't pay attention to all this other stuff, but if it's an IP that you are interested in, this is our metrics for the success. Watching and engaging. How long are they watching? That's one thing that you always need to ask yourself whenever it comes down to these things. What does it actually mean? Always ask questions, always go deeper, delve further into it, because they're kind of like screwed into putting out the next season because they have spent and sunk so much money into it already. They know it's a failure. And, this kind of happens whenever you are the head of a company or the head of a branch of a company. Your successes, you get to take all the praise. You get to get bonuses. When you fail time after time after time, it all falls on you because you are the head. Kind of makes me think a little bit. Yeah, I don't really think I want to manage anything that I'm not directly in control of. Because if I fail, heck yeah, I could admit, I was like, that was a stupid decision. That was dumb as shit. But if I succeed, at least I know it came off of my own hard work. Now, these people in corporate companies and stuff like that, it's like, well, maybe they schmoozed and they wined and dined the right people. They got to a position. And then, like I said earlier, they get to play with house money. And so that responsibility no longer seems to lie on them. Well, chickens always come home to roost. So what do you guys think about this? Are you happy that she's gone? Do you think anything's going to change? I personally don't think it's going to change anytime soon, but there's also a possibility. Maybe this is the rolling stone that will gather no moth and just take out these crazy activist people that have been put in charge of everything. Because at the end of the day, especially with multi-billion-dollar corporations and companies, money talks. This is multi from mouth of multi. I am so tongue-tied every time. For some reason, like the last 4 or 5 videos, I can't even say my own channel right. Oh well, whatever. Y'all have a great day. Take care. We'll see you later. Bye.